Hello and welcome to The Hop, a podcast designed to help marketers and business owners navigate the ever-changing landscape of marketing. I'm your host, Matt Taylor Farrington, and the owner of Purple Bunny Marketing. And today I'm joined by Sam from our team. And today, Sam, we're going to talk about Google Ads. Obviously, we've talked a lot about social media advertising over however many podcast episodes we've done. But we're going to talk more about Google Ads. So I guess something we get a lot, people don't necessarily understand what Google Ads are. So in a nutshell, simplified version, what are Google Ads and how does it work?
So to streamline it, Google Ads is an advertising platform that services various avenues and platforms of advertising, from search campaigns, which is what you would see when you search for something on Google. For example, let's say you search driving school. A driving school may be bidding on Google search and they were more likely to appear at the top of the page as a sponsored link. And you can tell what that is because it says sponsored next to it.
Yes.
There's also the display network. So if you've ever been on a website like a news website and there's pictures, a thin picture at the top or a thin banner on the right, that's quite often Google display advertising.
Yes.
Where you can upload various format sizes of ads to, get your visuals out there, get people clicking on it, directing them to a place of your choosing.
Yes.
Those are the main two types that you run into. This probably all go into in a streamlined explanation.
Yes.
But that's the two you'd most likely to be working with, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's you're either paying to bid for words and have your, website rank higher up in the search, or you're paying to target certain audiences and behaviours and various other things that you can target behind. There's so much targeting in there to kind of have your ads served to them on various platforms as they navigate and move around the websites or the internet, basically. Yeah. All right, perfect. So I think we've kind of summarised that. So,
Hope so.
I guess the next thing we kind of get, or, once people start to understand it and that, they then, and, naturally the next question is, what does that kind of thing cost and what are you looking at to kind of bid and play in that space, I guess?
Sure. Well, anytime someone asks about costs, it's sort of a similar answer in that it depends on your goals. It depends on the size of your business. It depends on what you're selling. If you're a smaller business and you're primarily looking to convert leads, for example, to a form on the website, recommended starting overall broad budget, probably about $25 to $30 a day, I would say. And then you can get more specific from there depending on what you're doing. So if you're a much larger business, you may want to be spending significantly more than that, depending on your goals. But like anything, it depends. But 25, 30, I would say, for a smaller business getting started on search. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's one of those things that also depends, you can get into what they call bidding wars.
Yes.
It does depend on your competition. Are they already playing in that space? Are they bidding? Are they bidding on similar words? There's all those sorts of things
as well.
Yeah, you can see that through your auction insights and you can kind of see how you're performing, how you're ranking, how things are going. And obviously from a display perspective, display's a little bit cheaper in the sense of
I would say so.
But obviously you're paying more so to deliver impressions, to deliver your ad, to kind of get that out there. So
you can get into some fun rivalries with the bidding. If you spend a lot of time in the insights section on Google Ads,
yes,
maybe fun's the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess, and I guess at the end of the day, my biggest thing around bidding is, and especially with certain businesses, the only person who's winning in the end is actually Google.
Oh yeah,
by paying them all that money.
Yeah.
So constantly outbidding each other and playing in that space, the only real winner is Google. Otherwise, you're just spending more and more budget. So you do have to kind of cap yourself, I think, and look at the outcomes and the results. And as long as you're getting the right ROI on it and making sure that you're actually getting those returns to offset that cost, then go for gold. But I do think people need to be mindful of that, because the one thing we always get is about, I want to be at the top, and to guarantee yourself, and any agency that tries to guarantee someone 100% at the top is lying. The reality is that things change constantly. Algorithms are changing. People come into the market and bid. Unless you're prepared to put your money where your mouth is and kind of do that, that's the kind of being number one all the time is just not necessarily 100% accurate.
And before you start raising budget, you want to make sure your keywords and everything are in order.
Yes.
You don't want to just jump straight to the budget, because there may be other things that you can implement or edit to optimize
Yes.
your campaigns without having to jump straight to the budget every time, because you don't want to overspend.
Yeah,
Especially
correct.
if you're a small business.
Yeah. And especially if you are a small business, the other thing I find is everyone, they kind of go, oh, what about this word? And what about this word? And what about this word?
Yeah.
Why don't we focus and hone the budget in on and focus on some certain keywords that we want to drive that we know perform, get them humming, get them right. And then if we want to look at adding things, let's add some more keywords. Let's not go spend more money initially.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And look at what we can do to try and adjust that, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So I think we've kind of summarized what it is, how it works.
Fairly long one.
Yes. But I guess the next question that we get asked, or I've been asked a couple of times is, especially at the initial consult stage, is what's better, Google Ads or Meta Ads? And I guess, horses for courses, there's different views on that, but what's your opinion? What do you think is better, or what's your kind of a take on that?
I think we're sort of getting back to that old reliable D word again, that being depends, which I feel like I have to bring up at every single question.
Yes.
But again, it depends on your goal. It depends on the size of your business, and it depends on what you're looking, the kind of demographics you're looking for, or how you're looking to convert people. Yeah. Targeting and whatnot. So to give an example, if you're, let's say, a gym running an offer, personally, I find social media to be a little bit more effective for that. Meta specifically does quite well.
Yes.
But if you have let's say, something a little bit more broad, like property, real estate, for example, that's something that everybody needs and is always looking at, then, Google search may be more prudent, because people are going to be searching directly for, example, Ipswich property, or sell my home Ipswich, or something like that.
Yes.
So it depends.
I agree. I think each platform has its place. Obviously, when we talk about someone advertising, or when we look at what's the best strategy for some, you know, it's about looking at that marketing mix and what works. There's so many things you can do, from radio and TV and all sorts of things. When you look at them, they all play a part, and they all have different aspects that they trigger and drive in the sense of the outcomes. I think Google Ads is great for a business that might be more service-orientated, service-based, where, for example, a plumber, the toilet breaks, and the first thing most people are going to do is go to Google.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To search for that sort of thing.
They won't be waiting for Facebook, right? They won't be waiting for an ad. They won't be searching
correct.
Facebook.
I mean, as much
Google.
as Facebook's going to try and serve ads now to those people, I think that you've really got to look at who is your business, who is your audience, how does your audience behave, I guess, and interact with you, as to how you determine which platform is the right marketing mix for you.
I wish you could target people who've recently broken their sink. I wish it got that detail. That would be really convenient. It'd be so much easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, what are you doing, Meta? So I hope you're listening.
Phones have mics. Surely they can figure that out now, right? Like, honestly, God.
Correct. And I think, with Meta ads and stuff like that, the things like, unless someone's in the mode for shopping at that time and actively searching to buy something, sure, Google has its place. Yeah. But I think with Meta ads, it's kind of that higher level where it kind of, if I've been actively searching for shoes and didn't buy or whatever, and then suddenly, I start seeing all these ads for shoes and something catches my eye, I'm probably more likely to buy that through Meta ads, to be honest. I feel like I would click that more than...
Yeah, especially if it's an offer.
And especially because it's being put in my face. Like, I'm not... Like, I've gone and searched shoes. I've stopped searching for shoes, clearly. And I've changed my mind, potentially. But then a nice pair of shoes have popped up in my face, and I'm kind of like, oh, actually... And suddenly I'm buying. So I do think each one has its place, and I think you kind of gotta really look at, and it's that same old thing, understanding who is your buyer, who is your audience, who are you targeting, and then working out the right one.
Yeah, exactly. It depends. Right?
Yes,
it depends.
the D word. And then the other thing that I think is also important is testing. Like, if you've never tried Google Ads before, and you want to give it a go, my advice would be give it a 3-month crack. Give it a crack for 3 months, see what happens, see whether it performs, doesn't perform, whether it produces. And, if it doesn't, okay, we know now. We know that platform isn't for you. It isn't for your base. It doesn't work. And I guess that's the biggest thing in marketing that we find all the time is test and measure.
Yeah, there's no one size fits all, right?
100%.
That's how it is.
All right. Well, I think we've kind of covered off loosely about Google Ads and what it is, and we might dive more into that a little bit further down the line about things that you can be looking for, targeting, analytics, all that sort of stuff, because there is so much in that space as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for popping along, Sam. Appreciate you checking in to have a chat about Google Ads. So to keep up to date with all the latest marketing trends, make sure you hit the subscribe or give us a follow. And thank you for tuning into the latest episode of The Hop, helping you to get your marketing hopping.